Getting started with Replit Agents. It's known as one of the easiest ways to start building applications online with AI without any initial setup. But without knowing any of the core features, you might run into a few dead ends. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use those features to truly unlock Replit Agent's power and save you countless headaches. To explore all the wonderful functionality of Replit, we're going to visit replit.com and create our Replit app. What we're going to create to explore the functionality is a side project or side hustle idea tracker. The first thing we have to do this is to prompt Replit to create our side hustle idea tracker. Immediately, we have a couple options. So we can choose auto and allow the agent to choose what kind of app this is for us. We can make an interactive data app, which wouldn't be relevant to our side hustle idea tracker. We can make a 3D game, or we can make a web application. So chances are it's going to turn into a modern web app, but we're going to leave it on auto and let Replit choose for us. One of the next things we can do is improve this prompt using AI. So all we have to do here is click Improve Prompt. You can see immediately that it's improved the prompt and it's turned it into a web-based side hustle idea management system that helps entrepreneurs track and organize their potential business ideas and opportunities. And it's added core features, it's added visual references, and a style guide. The last thing we could do is attach a file, which could be visual references, it could be a product requirements document, or something similar to that to provide additional context for the Replit agent. So we're going to hit Start Building. Before Replit begins building our application, it develops a plan, and a part of this plan provides us suggestions on what to improve. So it asks us, would we like any of these additional features? We can also make the changes later if we want to make it later, but I didn't mention that I want storage, so now is a great opportunity to say, hey, yeah, in fact, I do want storage. I don't want collaboration features, but I do want analytics and export-import functionality for ideas. So I can select these. Replit has completed the initial version of our app. We can add new ideas. We can filter ideas, we can see our ideas board, and even go into the ideas tab to specifically see the ideas that have been created. The first thing I notice is there's an error on this tab here, in that the tab that's highlighted, the text doesn't actually show. And one of the features that is great to have in Replit is to be able to edit an individual element. To do that, I would go here and click select and use the element selector. And I would probably select this whole div if I can. Yeah. I've got the navigation bar and I wanted to say, hey, whatever the active element is or the active tab is, I need to be able to see the text of the active tab on top of the purple background. The next thing we want to do is to add a database to store user data. So we can go to this database tab here to add a database, or we can just click it right here. And this will add a database for us to store user data. Now we have a persistent database for data management. If we go to database, we can now see our database, and it's storing the ideas, it's storing notes about the ideas. We want to also store user data. So we're going to add that functionality to store user data, but also we're going to add user authentication. To add user authentication, what we can do is go to Tools and go to Auth, and it's going to say enable Replit Auth by asking the agent to add this feature. Just say add Replit Auth to my app. So we're just going to say that, add Replit Auth to my app. Replit has now added authentication where you can see this login. Even though it has added the authentication, we can see it kind of breaks our user flow because we want the user to be authenticated before they actually get to this dashboard page. So we're going to have to add additional pages for sign up, sign in, and also reroute whatever the root page is to a page where users that are not signed in can see. Now we have a landing page, and when we select Get Started Now, we can see it has successfully created a landing page. It is missing a few asset features, but that's no issue. We're going to try to test this in a new tab to see if authentication is working. We're going to click Get Started Now, and it takes us to this Replit sign-in. So let's click Allow. Okay, and now allows us to go to dashboard, and now we're on our dashboard. You can see we have Dominic, so it knows who I am as a user. When I hit log out, I now go back to the landing page. So we have our user authentication. The next feature you definitely want to utilize is the assistant feature. So if we go to assistant, we can now have a conversation. For example, what features do you suggest I should add? Here we're having a conversation with the assistant, and it's suggesting collaboration features, analytics and insights, resource management such as budget, time investment calculator, and really some interesting features. We can either use this to generate the code and actions, or we can just ask basic questions with GPT-4o Mini. The next must-know feature of Replit Agent is the secrets feature, where you can store your secrets. Now we have the secrets tab open, you can see the secrets, and this is where you would store your key value pairs for any third-party applications, for example, OpenAI or Claude, or any other application that you're integrating with your app. What we can see here is access to our database, or the key value pairs for our database access. This is where you would want to put your secrets instead of putting it directly in the chat, because that way it is not secure. If we take a look at the problems tab, we can start to view problems with the code. You can see here, I don't actually have any problems with this particular application, but in many of my other applications, I have different varying problems with the code that's being created. And here you can see details with the problems. Lastly is the extension store. We can visit the extension store by going to Workplace Extensions, then the extension store, and you can either create new extensions or you can see featured extensions such as JavaScript commands, API request tester, icon generator, and more. To show you what this looks like, we're going to download the OpenAI Playground extension, and we're going to activate this extension for our account. The extension will now be found if we click to All Tools and scroll down and go to OpenAI Playground or AI Playground. And we do have to log in with one of them or give our API key using one of these, which will allow us to access a playground for testing prompts and outputs. We've taken a look at several key features of Replit Agent. Now is your time to create something amazing. Don't stop here. There are many more interesting features that Replit has to create advanced applications. We'll keep you updated with the best features Replit has to offer in future videos. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check the link in the description to go to No Code MBA, a learning platform with dozens of in-depth, high-quality courses on no code and AI taught by industry experts. And be sure to subscribe to our channel here to get more free content on YouTube. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.